We are learning more about the health of Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin this morning. Last week, he was hospitalized in intensive care without telling President Biden and other top officials for days. It turns out he had an infection related to prostate cancer. Weijia Jiang has details.
Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin had surgery to treat prostate cancer under general anesthesia nearly 3 weeks ago. But President Biden did not find out about the diagnosis until yesterday.
It is not optimal for a situation like this to go as long as it did without the commander-in-chief knowing about it. That's not the way this is supposed to happen.
70-year-old Austin had the procedure December 22nd. January 1st, he was admitted to the ICU with complications,
including nausea with severe abdominal, hip, and leg pain. Initial evaluation revealed a urinary tract infection.
Duties were transferred to his deputy, but the White House was left in the dark about Austin's hospitalization for 3 days. Some House Republicans have sent a letter to President Biden calling for Austin's resignation, accusing the four-star general of covering up his hospital stay. But the White House has said Austin would keep his job through the rest of the president's term. Meantime, other lawmakers want to see a congressional investigation.
There must be consequences for this stunning incompetence. Americans deserve answers. Congress deserves answers.
On Tuesday, White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients sent a memo to members of the president's cabinet, launching a review of protocols and ordering agencies to alert the White House about delegations of authority right away.
Clearly, we could have done better, and we will do better.
Secretary Austin's spokesman says one reason for the delay in disclosure is that discussions about prostate cancer treatment, screening, and support are often deeply personal and private. Doctors say since they were able to catch Austin's cancer early, he has an excellent chance of making a full recovery. Anne-Marie?
Yeah, I mean, you sort of have sympathy, at least I do, a little bit for the secretary because, you know, usually health issues are things that you have a choice whether you want to be private about it or not. But in this case, things are so sensitive. You mentioned the White House Chief of Staff, Jeff Zients, sent out this memo to cabinet members. Can you give us an idea of what was included in that memo?
So first off, Anne-Marie, Zients is asking for them to submit by the end of this week their current protocols so that the White House can review to make sure that each agency has the right protocols in place in the case that power has to be transferred or delegated like we saw Austin have to do to his deputy. Because when that happened, nobody here at the White House knew about it. And secondly, in the meantime, you know, he kind of had 4 steps to make sure that all of the agencies knew that if this were to happen, they have to contact the White House right away. They also have to put it in writing and make sure that all of the steps are in place for that transfer of authority. So this is an effort to really have on paper in black and white what people are supposed to do, because I spoke to an administration official, Anne-Marie, who said before this it was just sort of a tacit understanding that if someone was in the hospital, if someone was unable or, you know, to do their duties and have to transfer, that they would alert the White House because they assumed incorrectly that that's what would happen. And so this is spelling out, putting in writing what people have to do. But they also said, look, there can't be one uniform process for every agency because, you know, the tiers of leadership are different and the needs are different.
Huh. Very interesting, Weijia. Thank you so much.
Sure.